It's Baby and Mary, we know you have been waiting, so here's another podcast about movies, Burn After Watching.
Welcome to the Burn After Watching podcast. I'm Borderland.
And I'm Mary.
And today we are talking about the most anticipated film of your life. Perhaps.
Gladiator.
Two.
Yes.
You have to say two.
Gladiator 2. I never thought that I would be saying this. That I was going to see a sequel to one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah. I mean...
You seem shook.
No, I mean, the way that Ridley Scott career has been going. Ridley.
A writer.
You know, it's kind of... and I feel like there's an appeal for older director to go back to their old classic and like, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to do a second one of that thing that worked really well.
Yeah.
I wonder if Martin Scorsese is going to do like Raging Bull 2.
Oh, boy.
That doesn't sound like him, but yeah.
First of all, yeah, welcome to the podcast.
Welcome. Today we are going to talk about Gladiator 2. It just came out for us 2 days ago. Fresh.
We rewatched the first one.
Yes.
OG. One of my favorite movies of all time.
Is it your favorite or it's not?
Okay, I'm going to commit. It is.
For now, it's your favorite movie of all time.
Yes.
It's a great film.
Yes.
It's not in my top 10 or anything like that.
Wow.
But it's wait, wow. How many of my favorite movie are in your top 10?
A few, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have great taste. Gladiator, it's a solid film. It's a solid film. I love it.
Do you want to ask
it.
people to follow us on?
If you
know.
like us, follow us.
Thank you. Man, there's a lot to say.
Yes. Okay. Wait. Quickly, first
Yes.
one. What do you like so much that make it your favorite movie of all time?
What I love about it is the story. The story of a general who became a gladiator, a slave, and who turns the whole story upside down.
Mm.
And in a world where it was not possible to defeat the emperor or to make alliance with the other gladiators, that's what I love. I love him.
David versus Goliath.
I love Russell Crowe in that role. Oh man,
really
it
good.
makes me feel alive.
And I always appreciate everything you just mentioned. I appreciate it more now that we've seen a lesser version.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, Gladiator 2, almost the exact same story.
I know.
Almost the exact same story. Paul Mescal is basically our new Maximus.
Yeah.
It's like you start with a war scene, the person lose everything they had, and then they build back from being a gladiator to like getting their revenge. It's kind of like the exact same story with a little bit of nuance there and there that are different.
Yeah. We're just to mention we're gonna
spoil this.
Yeah.
We're gonna spoil the film. So most people have not seen it. I don't think there's any like major spoiler that would like stop you from enjoying the film, but we're gonna talk about most things. I think the story it's very, very, very similar.
Yeah.
But Paul Mescal is just not Russell Crowe. That's just like a lot of the film landed on Russell Crowe delivering an amazing performance, and Paul Mescal is just okay.
Yeah, his performance was very underwhelming.
Yeah.
It feels like many times his reactions, he wasn't, as an actor, maybe not able to deliver. I don't know. It seems weird to say, but
No, yeah.
it's as if like he's not able to deliver what Russell Crowe delivered. You know what? I'm so mad that I need to compare Gladiator 2 to the first one, because to me, and I said this even before we went watching it, I was like, my hopes are so fucking high, but at the same time, I have no hope at all. And yeah, his like starting off with him, he's not solid in that movie.
Yeah, and he's not bad in any way. And the thing is, like, Paul
He's
Mescal,
not great.
No, but he's not bad. It's not a bad performance. Yeah. The thing, Paul Mescal is actually really good, like excellent in other film, but it's a lot more emotional, kind of drama, character study. And this is a lot more of a stoic, kind of like, even though there's a lot of drama in his life, and it kind of worked, I feel like a lot of time when he was delivering line that was supposed to be this kind of like hurt man trying to like express all the contempt he has. It just felt like he was like dead, just like no. Like there was the emotion didn't translate properly.
I know. And when he takes the sand in his hands, like there's so many references to the first movie.
Many.
I was rolling my eyes and I was like, you are not Maximus. You will never be.
Well, the sand thing, he saw Maximus do that.
Yeah.
So he's doing it.
Did
the
he?
movie,
Oh, yeah, he did.
He's doing it because he remembered Maximus doing this and he idolized him.
No, that's fine. But I mean, you can't, as a viewer, you can't not remember the first one. And
But to me, it makes a bit more sense because he's replicating, like the character is doing something you've seen versus the arrow is the same thing with Russell Crowe with the little wooden amulet that he has of his wife and son, where you keep looking at it. And then Paul Mescal is kind of carrying an arrow from one of the first battle. And you keep looking. That's the same idea, same visual. Everything is the same. Copy and paste.
See, that's what I don't like.
But I don't like that because there's no reason for him to do this except that they wanted to do the same thing as the first film.
Exactly.
The same thing. The character himself he's redoing something that was done, but it's not the movie just being like, remember this? Remember this?
Yeah.
It's actually something that makes sense in the story. So I'm not mad about that.
The second thing to me that was really in my face when I came out of the theater was like, what is up with all the animals in this movie? That's like one thing that I could not get over. I was like, are we in Jumanji? The first time we see those like crazy zombie monkeys.
Like gorilla dogs.
Yeah.
Kind of fusion. But also they like on drugs. Like crazy zombie. They kind of remind me of I Am Legend, the zombies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But they look like they have the head of a gorilla, but they have the kind of the body of a dog.
Yeah, and they're so fast and like raging.
Yeah.
And then then Paul Mescal bites him to his arm or something.
Yeah, bites him back. Right?
Yeah. And then Denzel Washington's like, okay, I want that guy.
Yeah, I want this guy.
That to me was so funny. I was literally laughing. And then it goes on and on. Then we see a rhino, rhinoceros. The guy's literally riding him. He's on his back.
Like it's a horse.
Like, yeah.
It's controlling him like it's a horse.
That was...
Like, okay, charge this now. It's a rhinoceros. Like,
I know.
It doesn't understand that.
And then the sharks.
That's the worst
in the water. I was like, Jaws.
Yeah, so they fight in a Coliseum.
The Coliseum.
But no, it's a different one.
Not the shark.
Yes, it's by the water, this one. The other one is like in the middle of the city.
I'm not sure about
It's like one shot that we see it by the water.
Yeah.
And apparently a lot of people, it's been defended online that there's the potential that it is true that at some point they were flooding the Coliseum. I don't know how to say this word. Coliseum?
Coliseum. Yeah.
They were flooding it to have reenaction of ship war.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no mention that shark were involved or that it was connected to there's like 10 or 15 shark. And
not that much.
There's a lot of them.
Like 3 or 4.
No. There's a lot of them.
But it's just so silly.
They fight on boat and then they fall into the water and then the shark
get eaten by a shark.
Yeah. And that's it. That's the battle.
I was really disappointed because the other battle scenes, just like 2 men together,
They were good.
or women even. Yeah, that was good. But the animal integration was so silly to me. I think
they wanted to kind of up the tiger one from the first film, which worked really well.
Oh, yeah.
It makes sense.
Yes.
But this one
is over the top in every battle, like 3 battles in a row.
There's a lot of gladiator battles in this one. And
no, with the animal.
Oh, yeah. And the CGI is bad.
Yes.
The visual effects are bad. Not for like destruction in the ship. It's pretty good. But the animal specifically, it's bad. Especially the gorilla dog zombie thing.
Yeah. And even we were mentioning, the movie starts where they're going to attack with the ships. And you mentioned, and I was agreeing with you on that they, like when the boats are going to crash, the camera looks away.
The editing is really
better.
messy.
Yeah.
The editing of the first 15, 20 minutes is really weird. It's almost like bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I edit like video. So like for me, like there was a lot of time where you see 2 characters fight for like editing these days so fast. It's going to be 5 seconds. And as soon as like the character is about to hit the other character, it would cut to a different scene.
Yeah.
And you had this like really like it was not satisfying to watch because you never saw the hit or like the kind of like, it's not that they were trying to cut around violence because it is super violent and very bloody.
Very. That, and we thought that for Napoleon as well.
Yes.
Remember the horse that
the horse explosion.
I was like, what? Why?
It's weird because I don't think it's necessarily inappropriate for a Gladiator film to be violent. Like the Gladiator, the first one is violent, but it feels
different
like,
though. It's not gory.
No,
you know what I mean?
This one is like violent in a way that like feel
it's like it doesn't
unnecessary.
fit the movie.
It's just cheap.
Yeah, I agree. Like even the ending scene where he cuts Denzel Washington's arm.
Yeah.
In the river.
Yeah.
I was like, are we in a zombie movie? You know what I mean? Like it just felt so. It didn't fit the tone, the time as well of the movie.
Yeah.
You know.
For me, it's the tone because it's a more.
Also.
Well, it is not trying to be that realistic because obviously there's gorilla dogs. But the tone of the first film is very serious.
Yes.
So when a character get an arm chop, you would expect a normal amount of blood, and it's not like Hollywood-esque. It's not like big and like flashy. It's kind of realistic. Where this is a lot more kind of spectacle.
Yeah,
blood.
I agree with you because even the first movie, you remember there's a woman that gets cut in two by the chariot. There is a knife on the chariot. She gets cut in two. And that's like really intense, but they don't make it feel the way. You don't pay attention
to it. Yeah.
Right? The story moves on.
This movie pays attention to bloody scene in a way that Napoleon did as well. Yeah. Which doesn't feel to fit at all.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
I didn't like that at all.
And the editing is messy. It gets better as you go, but it is weirdly for a big film uneven and just kind of like it feels like the battle scene at the beginning, they were just filming whatever they could. Yeah, it didn't feel like they had a plan, and then you had a lot of shot that was like, why am I looking at this? Like I agree, it's just messy, very messy. And it's the first part of the movie is kind of long. I felt it was kind of long. I didn't mind the length. There's a lot of flashback. Yeah. There's a lot of reference to the first film just visually too. Yes. Like you start with the shot of the hand and the grain, similar to the first film. Start with the shot of the oat. Yeah. The music and the score is reused, but Hans Zimmer didn't come back to do more music for the second film. So a different composer came to add more music, which was fine. Denzel Washington to me is he's so best good. Part. I love him, and I love what the movie should have been about. That his arc in the film. He is like a slave owner, gladiator owner. He used to be himself a gladiator. Yes, and is managing. He's managing, but he has bigger aspiration. He's almost just doing this to like be able to like be next to next with important people. And his side of the story is like a political drama where he's trying to gain power by playing the right chess piece, and that's super interesting. That's interesting. Yeah. The movie should have focused on that, but I think It did though. But it should have been the main story. I agree. They were trying to do the first movie, but it adds something new. But they were way too focused on delivering the same story from the first movie again. There was a lot of stuff going on. Even at the beginning, I was kind of mixed up with who's Pedro Pascal. Yeah. We can talk about him also. I was like, okay, so Pedro Pascal is the new general of... What's her name? The sister of Joaquin Phoenix who died. Yes, in the first film. Right. So I was kind of confused. There's like a lot of stories going on. Yeah. And I must say that I was looking forward for his performance because I love Pedro Pascal in Last of Us. Yeah. So I was curious what kind of performance he could deliver, and it was just all right. Yeah, he didn't fit the role that much. It was just very forgettable. I think most people were just fine. Yeah. Denzel Washington was the best. Really good. Yeah. He was doing a lot of like interesting thing. Mm-hmm. I think there's like a queer aspect to his character, which is fun. I know that he was supposed to kiss one of the men of the emperor, and that was cut. But I think there was more kind of subtlety to his character, which is interesting as well. I don't think it's hidden at all. Like there's a lot of, I mean, Rome in general back then was really open to all those things. So it's nice that they kind of show some of that. Mm-hmm. I think you mentioned because there's two emperor now. There's two Caesar. Yeah, we can talk about those. One of them was okay, like it was good. Yeah. The other one was really funny, and I really liked the younger kind of like I don't give like I don't shit. I just want blood. I really like his nonchalance.
To me, it was just like amusing to see where Rome is at right now and like the decadence of like where they are now, and like that the two people in power are literally clowns.
Dictator.
Clowns. They don't even know what they're doing. They just want people to fight and to die, you know?
Well, yeah, they just want the image of power. They like Pedro Pascal come back from like capturing a piece of land that nobody was able to capture for the Roman for a while, and he comes back and all he asks for, which is kind of like similar to like Maximus. He's like, all I want to go is back to my house and enjoy some downtime. It's like, no, we have more to do.
Yes.
And then it's the same thing for them. Oh, now we want India and we want Africa and stuff.
But yeah, I agree with you. For the emperors, one of them was his performance was to me a little bit too much, like over the top. The first one that gets killed. The older brother.
Well, they're twins, I think. So
yeah, so not older. No, he looks more.
He
mature.
looks older. Yeah,
he looks more mature. But the younger one, I agree with you. And I was wondering who that actor is, and you mentioned he's the grandson in the movie Thelma.
Yes.
I was like, oh, he's so different. I thought his performance was very
good.
It was
for what it was. It doesn't have a big role.
No.
I like the little monkey kind of joke.
Me too.
There's a lot of funny things in the film.
Yeah.
It's a bit long, 2 hours and a half almost.
Oh yeah, it was long.
The battle scene, if you can get over the animals,
I can't.
and the CGI, I think there's some good combat scenes.
Yes.
It's very reminiscent again from the first film, like the group. Oh, we have to stay together to win, and all this. Like it's if you've seen the first film, you have seen most of the second film, and that's where it is. Like I think if it was a brand new film that is not a follow up to Gladiator, I would say like this is a pretty entertaining. I still would be underwhelmed by the performance, but I would say like at least it's fun. It's something that maybe I don't see often. Yeah. But now it feels like very much like just reheated. Let's just do the same thing again. Let's run it back.
Yes, and maybe we can talk about the fact that Lucius, who comes back as
we're gonna be going a bit into spoiler now.
Spoiler alert.
Furthermore, so if you want to really go blind, it's nothing crazy, but just so you know.
So we learn that Lucius,
Paul Mescal
comes back, and he learns that Maximus is his father.
Yes.
Darth Vader, I'm your father.
So he take his sword, put his armor on, start saying strength and honor.
Yeah.
And kill everyone.
wants to like pursue the dream of Marcus Aurelius.
Honor his memory, yeah.
I thought that was kind of good.
I don't mind this as a twist.
Father. Like I was happy when he put on
I was expecting
his
armor.
Yeah.
I was kind of expecting it that he would be the son of, even in the first film, it's ambiguous. It's not like it comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's kind of like they had a relationship,
an affair,
or something. Yeah. Now it's kind of explained that the husband of the sister of Joaquin Phoenix, which we should find.
Never remember her name.
Her husband was like queer or something, so that's why they didn't have a kid, and she had a kid from one of her affair, which is Maximus in this case.
Lucia, her name is Lucia.
Well, yeah.
We were
I thought maybe it would be that, but I was like, there's no way. I'm just thinking.
Lucia and Lucius, yeah. I was happy to see her again because she plays in the first movie and comes back in the second movie.
And she's married to Pedro Pascal.
Right. Oh, really? I didn't know that.
No, in the film.
Oh, okay.
No.
I thought it was real life. I was like,
what?
No. I thought it was so cheesy that one of the first times we see her on screen, she's wearing the exact same earrings as in the first movie. I was like, yeah, we get that it's her. You know?
I couldn't even tell.
Yeah, I think maybe if people notice, they can tell us if I'm right or wrong. But yeah, I think it's very remarkable. Anyways,
one thing that is dumb is that in her house she has a secret
room. My god!
And then she there's a wall and she presses an entire brick, and it opened a door. But it's like she presses it and the brick comes back as if there's like a mechanism in the back.
And then they bring back the Gragas senator as well, and they end up killing all those people that came back from the first movie because you said that they might want to do a third one.
So actually, it's been green light.
Fuck.
Because I assume the pre-sale is doing very well, and they know they're gonna make a lot of money. So
it pisses me off so much.
They are green lighting Gladiator 3.
There's nothing else to say.
You still have Lucius. My worry is that they ended the film and killed off
Oh man.
Denzel Washington, which was the most. I feel like going into a third movie where he's now the emperor, and he kind of like made his way through there. And now Lucius, it's funny because now it's an interesting relationship where Lucius is technically owned by Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington is an emperor. He was never freed
royal
yet.
Blood, yeah.
Yeah, but he's the royal blood.
Yeah.
So that would have been a great thing. And they kind of used that at the end of Gladiator 2, but I feel like you should have used that for Gladiator 3.
Maybe in Gladiator 3, we learn that Denzel is not dead. Imagine the twist.
Oh, he just lost his hand?
Yeah, that's a joke.
I guess we don't see him die.
I mean,
it could
they can't do that.
But the film kind of end on a like, Rome will be free.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, there's tons of things they can do.
I mean, to me, really, in my heart, my little heart of, I'm such a fan of the first movie, and I almost regret seeing the second one.
I don't.
The first one to me there was nothing else to say. They only did this for money. Russell Crowe's reaction when he learned that there was a second movie, he was like, fuck your movie.
But I think he was just tired of people were asking questions because he's not in it. He's like, my character is dead.
I mean, yeah.
So it's like, why are you asking me?
No, but I'm sure that if we had his honest opinion, I'm sure that he's like, well, what else is there to say?
Yeah. I mean, like you still have Denzel Washington. I don't mind it. It's not a bad film. It's just like you said, they could have just named it something else, and it would have probably make more sense. I feel like now it feels like it has to live up to the first film, and it can't. It just can't.
No, it just can't.
Like there's actor that could have like do a better job at the Paul Mescal. Like I'm sure there was a way to make it better, but you going after like a movie that won best film at the Oscar that people love. Like for sure, it's gonna be hard to like surpass that 20 years later. Especially like Ridley Scott has been on a trail of like bad film.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of things against it. So I feel like just do another like Roman Empire thing. Call it something else. Like
and I really didn't like the fact that when Lucia comes to see her son Lucius, like she came to see Maximus. There's so many similarities. And even when they try to plan like the escape and they're caught in the corridor and everybody gets shot except Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
Like it's exactly what happened to Maximus when it gone wrong. So it's like
it's a lot of the same.
What was there to tell? Like just like you said, tell me another story or just don't connect it to, but they had to because of Lucius and all that.
My thinking is that they wanted to do a third one, and they wanted to kind of reset the story so they could go into the third one, which would be the second one with Paul Mescal. Kind of clean, because now you have Paul Mescal established the same way you had established Russell Crowe, but you didn't kill him off at the end, which means that at least you can continue upon that, right? And then you also like got rid of all the characters that will probably be too old to like keep going to Gladiator 3 and maybe 4, right? Whatever it is. So now you can have a clean slate where you retold the story exactly the same way, but you have a character that lives and you have like a small victory in that way. And then you can go into Gladiator 3, which is really the second one for them, kind of clean. But to me, like, it's nice in terms of like being able to plan a third film, but it's not really nice in terms of like me watching a movie that is just attempting to reset the story, but it's at the same time the second film in a series. It's like it doesn't add up.
And it's just trying to tell in the same way the first movie that was made 25 years ago. But I know you probably won't agree with me on this, but I feel that there's, to me at least, there are some movies that are untouchable.
I disagree.
I know, I was sure. I mean, there are some movies, not untouchable, but nowadays, the main reason to make another movie, unless it's like planned and well made, like Dune Part 2 to me is better than Dune Part 1. So I'm not like shitting on every sequel, but what I'm saying is
legacy sequel.
Yes. If the only reason you're trying to make a movie is the money,
that's always the only reason. That's the thing. Gladiator 1 was made to make money.
But it was good, and the story was done.
But you don't know if it's going to be good until it's made.
But why make a second part 25 years later?
Because they want, like, both because of money and because they wanted to do it. See, I don't have zero problem with someone saying I want to make a follow-up, because you never know. It could be amazing. as long as they don't destroy and rewrite what the first film was. So if you don't like it, you could just disregard it, and then that's your choice. For me, the movie that are like, okay, we're gonna make a sequel, but we're gonna go rewrite the first film in a way where we show you this in the first film, but actually now we're gonna show you something else that totally changed the meaning of what you like. That I hate, because now you also rewriting history.
Oh no, that's
They didn't do this in this film, so I'm glad about that. But I have no problem with someone attempting to do a legacy, like whatever. I don't think there's some like untouchable movie. You can always just not watch it. For me, going into this film, what I wanted is I wanted it to be good enough that when I watch Gladiator 1, which is like once every 2 years, I was interested in going and watching this. Like, it's good enough so I want to watch it after.
Mm-hmm.
See, like, it doesn't have to be as good. Just like make me want to have a little bit more, and this giving me that little more that I wanted. For me, this is not doing it. So like when I watch Gladiator 1, I'm not going to be tempted at all to watch Gladiator 2. But there is some legacy sequel that I did feel like this, where I like Blade Runner. You watch the first one and you watch Blade Runner 2049 that came out like 30 years later or whatever. And it like, I don't love both movies, but like I would want to go watch the other one after.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. I'm not going to rewatch that movie.
Oh, me neither.
And
maybe if the third one comes out.
No, not me. No.
We'll watch all three.
No.
We'll have to do it for the podcast. Wait, you have to do like, if they do 5 Gladiator, we're gonna review them all. It's your favorite movie of all time. You have to.
I'll see. But it's funny though, because my mom came with us to the movie, and she called me this morning, and she's like, you know what? I thought about Gladiator, and when I came out of the theater, you know, I wasn't like sure if I liked it. And this morning she told me I liked it more now that I think of it. And I said to her, it's the opposite. Yeah. When I got out of the movie, I was like, because I think I was expecting it to be so bad. Yeah. I was like, okay, I was entertained. I had a good time. You're not entertained. Yeah. And now that I think of it, I was like, this is so reheated.
Empty.
Oh, gosh, yeah. So.
Yeah, I agree.
But I did have moments here and there where it was a good time. My popcorn was good.
It's not the same as Gladiator 1 in the sense that Gladiator 1 was like a movie with substance that felt like that.
He's so good in that movie.
This one
gives me like, I feel so, if you could see me right now, I'm like holding my fist. I'm like, I feel so alive with this. His character, Maximus, is one of my favorite characters of all time. He's so good.
I think Gladiator is a lot more like a summer movie that feels a bit more empty. Yeah. So it's really not that it's bad. I would never say it's a bad film.
No, me neither, but
it's a good entertainment. If you are so, like, for me, it's the biggest issue is that they call it Gladiator 2. Just call it fucking
Lucius.
Coliseum.
Call him Lucius. I don't know.
The Coliseum, the Roman.
I don't know.
Roman 1.
And it's funny because
the fight for honor.
We listened to a few podcasts reviewing the movie, and there's one guy that we listened to. He's like, I'm a huge fan. And he was, telling that he kind of enjoyed his time and everything. And so I was hopeful. I was like, oh my God, I'm such a big fan. Maybe, it'll be the same for me. But yeah, unfortunately,
no go
for me. Maybe if you want to watch it, I'd recommend going
to the theater
to see the sharks and the monkeys and the rhino.
I think it's worth watching it. It's a good time. Like, it's a spectacle. Just don't expect it to be as good or close to the first one. I think it's a lot more. It's closer. I would say it's closer to Gladiator 1 than Napoleon in quality. Yes, but it's still very far from Gladiator 1.
Yes, and
it reminded me of Civil War, actually. It's kind of like how I feel about it.
Oh, not me.
I was kind of
Civil War, afterwards, I was like thinking about it more.
You liked it more?
Yeah, I liked it.
Well, like, for me, in terms of like a movie that came out this year that I feel similar about.
Less silly.
I don't know.
To me, Civil War
is a bit
was
silly.
More realistic.
With the little glasses and, are you American? It's like, come on.
I don't know.
To me, that didn't work. Anyway.
I really miss Joaquin Phoenix as well in Gladiator 2.
I'm kind of over
so
him.
Good in the first. Over him?
He's been doing really bad role recently.
Oh, man. We need to end this podcast.
Napoleon and Joker back to back.
He's good. Like, you know what? Joker 2.
It was his idea that it was a musical.
Feels like.
You know that?
You trying to make me hate him?
No, I'm saying it was his idea.
Oh yeah, it was bad. He can't sing.
Lady Gaga apparently is so mad
Oh really?
because like it's the first film she's ever in that like is like
Not doing well.
terrible.
Mm.
And like,
Well, House of Gucci didn't do well.
but it was nominated a bunch of things.
Oh yeah.
Like I think she is the first film, and she did like an album for it and everything. And
Yeah.
apparently, like she feel like her career was very specific, like type of role she was taking. And
Well, I mean, she saw the movie. I mean,
yeah, apparently she hated.
oh. Well.
She didn't like the movie at all, and she's really unhappy.
To me, Joker 2 is similar to the Gladiator 2. They're both movies that did not need a sequel.
Joker 2 is a lot worse, though.
Oh yeah, I agree.
It's not enjoyable at all. The same length. Joker 2 feel 4 times longer than
No, I
Gladiator 2.
agree.
Terrible. Burn or save?
Yeah.
You're gonna save it or burn it? That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Oh no, it's easy for me. I will burn it.
Really? But
Oh,
what's your
yeah.
score out of 5?
At first, when I came out, I gave it a 3. I'm still gonna give it a 3, but I'm gonna burn it.
I'm gonna give it. I also give it a 3. It's really on the line for me. I personally would burn it. I don't think I need to rewatch this. I don't think I like it enough to like care.
Well, then it's a burn.
It's a burn, but I would say that like
There's no but.
no. I would say that for the majority of people, I think it would be a save. So I want to take that into account. Where I think that
What?
if you just want to go in to enjoy yourself, it's probably a save. If you go in thinking about I want a proper successor to Gladiator 1,
Well,
it's
I
a
mean,
definite burn.
how can't you? How can you disregard that it's a sequel?
But some people might not have seen the first one.
Well, go see it.
But if you haven't seen the first one and you just want to have a good time, you don't need to have seen the first one.
I can't disregard the animals and like all those.
I think
things.
it's a burn, but in terms of like the type of Hollywood movie that you have that are like big blockbuster spectacle, it's probably one of the better ones.
Mm.
If you compare it to like, what did ever come out that was like this year? Big blockbuster.
Challengers.
No, but it's not a blockbuster. Like Twister. Twister was better.
Twister was good.
Twister was.
I
pretty
was
good.
really surprised. You know, that was a sequel. The first one was
See,
kind of good.
that's a legacy Twister.
That was
Legacy sequel. Legacy Twister. Twisters.
that was good. That was good.
But
That
see?
was funny. That was a good time.
So then
What?
maybe it's fine to do legacy sequel.
No, I never said it was
You
not.
said.
But make it good.
Well, yeah, of course. That's the whole point. Also, it was the director of Minari that did the.
That's a
Twister.
good movie.
Any movie that we've seen that you were not on that you wanted to review recently?
I watched 10 minutes of Perez or whatever.
Emilia Perez, and then we
I
stopped
watched
it.
10 minutes and I was like, she started singing and I was, okay, I'm done.
So
You watched it too. Did you talk about it with Dan?
No, we
in
were
one
supposed
of
to
the
do an
episodes?
episode, and then I watched it, and I texted Dan. I was like, "Let's not do an episode. It's not worth it."
Did he watch it?
No, I don't think he ended up watching it. But a quick review on Emilia Perez. It's fine. It's not that good. It didn't need to be a musical. The story is good. So the performances are okay. I don't know how it won best actress for Selena Gomez and the Zoe Saldana or whatever. Like they're good. There's nothing wrong. But the movie is kind of like just a bit basic.
Yeah.
It's funny because it seems so crazy of a story, but when you watch it, it's like, all right, it's not that crazy.
There's a lot of hype around it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna get nominated at the Oscar and everything.
Wow.
So I mean, it's fine. It's like a 2.5 out of 5. Nothing
What
crazy.
did we watch also? Oh, yesterday we watched Hurricane for the first time because we were talking about Denzel's performance in Gladiator 2. So I said, oh my God, you need to see the Hurricane. So it's the story of Reuben Hurricane Carter, the boxer, who was falsely accused. And that's one of my favorite movies,
It was
top
excellent.
20. And you loved it.
First
I'm
time
glad.
watch, loved it.
Yeah.
4 stars, big save. Yeah, it was great. It's kind of both biography / a investigation, and it's really powerful. It's great.
We walked by his office in Toronto last time we were there. So that I was happy.
Yeah,
That was meaningful.
really cool. So,
We're blabbing.
yeah, I don't think we have anything we're gonna go watch soon.
No?
Gloria is coming out on Netflix. We haven't checked that out.
Yeah, and I'd like to see Charles Aznavour. Biopic
Mr.
of,
Aznavour, which
Mr.
is a
Aznavour.
biopic from a French singer.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
We'll check that out.
Oh, but we can't wait for 2 movies that are coming out in 1 month.
Ooh. Nosferatu?
Yeah.
A complete unknown.
Yes.
Nosferatu priority, please.
Did you order stuff from the movie?
No.
You had seen like a perfume or...
Yeah, they have a perfume for Nosferatu, but it's only available in the US.
Ah.
And
what's your next episode with Dan?
We don't know yet. We're going to have to see where we can go check out because we're traveling in the next week.
Yeah.
But there's a few film that looks interesting that I want to go check out. Queer. It's going to be coming out soon. I want to go check it out.
Daniel Craig?
Daniel Craig. The same director as Challenger.
Yep.
And Call Me By Your Name.
Yes, that was a good movie.
That looks cool.
See you soon, Bone Daddy.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Ciao.